Yeah, good morning. Steve Holmes here with South Bay Clean Creeks Coalition. Last week, City Council was updated regarding the trash situation we're seeing in the city, in particular the roads and parks. Absent from that conversation was what's happening along our waterways. So we thought it would be a good idea to bring you down here so that you actually get to see firsthand what we're seeing down here.
The Guadalupe watershed runs through the heart of Silicon Valley, and despite increasing urbanization, is still home to a wealth of life. Birds of all kinds can be found hunting on the banks or swimming in the waters. Several family of beavers have dams in various locations. And every fall, like clockwork, salmon and native steelhead return to the Guadalupe and Los Gatos Creek to spawn. Our surveys show that the number of spawning fish are increasing thanks in part to efforts to keep the rivers clean. Unfortunately, the banks of the watershed in San Jose have become heavily impacted by trash, and the situation is worsening with the current COVID crisis. Since its inception, South Bay Clean Creeks Coalition has extracted nearly 1 million pounds of trash from the waterway. But this is a fraction of the amount that flows through the creeks and rivers and into the bay. The Valley Water Authority estimates that 85% of the trash flowing through the watershed comes from people who live along the rivers. As you can see, there are a lot of plastics from food storage, typical household items, and even various bikes and motorcycles. You can find furniture, clothes, and just about anything found in any home. During the summers, the rivers are low and trash can pile up. In the winter, water can flow up as high as the bottom of this bridge. These storms not only wash the trash into the bay, but they also pulverize plastics, creating millions of pieces of microplastic, which work their way into the ecosystem and affect the health of the water and its inhabitants. In addition, people living along the rivers require their own sources of heat and power, and as a result, the waterways can be littered with discarded batteries and are susceptible to fire in the camps as well. The conditions we are describing and showing make for very difficult and unsafe living conditions. There are no trash services to clear the waterways, and enforcement of buffer zones away from the water is limited.
The trash situation along our waterways is not something that we're going to be able to clean our way out of. As cities like Sacramento and Stockton have done, they've created buffer zones where they don't allow people within 50 yards of their levees, so a situation like this just doesn't happen. And we're not advocating for the homeless to be removed from the community, but I think with some restrictions, our local creeks will benefit.